All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Heavyweight Nation. We got a little news episode for you today. News coming out yesterday that Austin Gomez will not be applying for a medical hardship year and has decided not to come back from next year. He has announced that he will focus on the freestyle circuit. I mean, as most people expected, competed for Team Mexico at the Pan Am Championships. Obviously, I think this was like one of his first international tournaments.
Yep.
Didn't go too well, unfortunately. I mean, it was a fun bracket though. Him, Sebastian Rivera, Yanni. Yanni ended up winning it. Rivera ended up taking bronze. I mean, a lot of people looking forward to seeing him in the future. I think this is, I mean, kind of big, I want to say in a sense. Yanni's heading out. It would have been Gomez or Sasasa, assuming Gomez was healthy, decided not to come back. I mean, it is what it is. I think that Wisconsin room has been improving a lot over the years. But yeah,
Yeah, he's been through a lot through his career with injuries and everything. And I think I agree with his decision. It makes a lot of sense, especially if he wants to compete on the international scene and chase a world and Olympic title. But, he's been through it all. He knows the college season, it's so brutal on your body. I mean, you got to wrestle. Why wrestle 40 matches in a season if, you don't think it's really 100% beneficial, especially if you want to go in the international scene. You can get right at it and start competing a lot more and not have, you know, take every day of your life for about 6 months and put it all into one season.
yeah. I mean, I agree. I wrestled in college for a bit. It was brutal. I
Yeah,
mean, that
it's
wasn't
tough
even good like that. But, I mean, it was fun watching him.
for
That's what
sure.
I'll say. I'm not going to dive too much into this, but, wish him the best for what's next to come. Next thing out of Wisconsin as well, four-time All-American Trent Hillger, one of our guys, one of the OG supporters, has announced that he will be moving down to the Gopher Wrestling Club in Minnesota to continue his career. I think we got the chance to talk with him. I mean, maybe a month or so ago, and he said his aspirations are still in the sport of wrestling. I remember the first podcast we did with him, he talked about how he was looking to go to the NFL possibly, or moving back to football after college. Those didn't turn out. I mean, I'm happy to see him stay in wrestling. Let's see what he
Yeah,
can do. I think Minnesota is a great place for him to go, any heavyweight to go if they really want to reach their full capabilities. Training alongside Gable Steveson, Hayden Zilmer. I think Brandon Mangum has done a good job with fantastic job with Gable, right? You have Coy Hopke coming in,
yep,
DeShazer's there, Zach Sanders, I want to say is still there.
right.
And there's definitely someone I'm missing, but yeah,
Yeah,
that is a great team right there for him, and I think he's definitely going to succeed there or have at least more success than he did in the past.
for sure. If you're a heavyweight and you're looking to get better, why not go to Minnesota? They have everyone you could possibly want. You can train with Gable, Zilmer, all those guys. It's going to be a war practice every day. I think that's what he wants, and that's how he's going to get better.
Yeah. I mean, obviously his career hasn't been too kind to him. Just coming off a torn ACL, and Nationals didn't get to finish his college career out, which is just, obviously unfortunate. You want to be able
Right.
to at least wrestle the last match. He said
Yeah.
he wasn't thinking too much about it. I know he was talking about how he was drinking like these massive weight gainer shakes to go from like 210, I think, because 2022 did an All American, lost like a shitload of weight, and he talked about how he got back up to 260, eating like
Right.
10, 12,000 calories a day. That was just awful on his body. And he was already down to like 225 by the time we did the podcast, like 2 weeks after nationals, which was insane. I think he's gonna, have a great job there.
Yeah.
But I think our last topic, a big topic for conversation is, obviously with all the recruits that Penn State and Michigan are getting, Iowa's the other powerhouse in the NCAA, and I mean things haven't been looking too great for them. But let's just dive into it a little bit because I don't think it's as bad as people are actually saying. I know obviously they lost Cody Chittum, the whole Anthony Ferrari fiasco, and all that's going on with that. The fact that these guys were former teammates in Blair, they don't want to be teammates again. Chittum decided to up and leave. If you were to ask me who I say is better, I would tell you right now I think Chittum by a pretty dominant margin. That being said, we obviously don't know because haven't seen them compete
Right.
in a bit at this point, right?
Yeah.
Chittum's going to Iowa State, which I think makes his move a little bit more interesting because now they're going to be rivals.
Of course.
Will they compete the same weight class? I don't know. I think Anthony Ferrari probably registers, as we said in the last episode, I think Chittum's ready to go right away. If he wants to redshirt, get a year of international competition in, which he's been doing, but I think they could use him right away, especially in a young, talented team. Again, the guys, Paniro Johnson, Casey Swiderski, David Carr, Hayden Nakamura coming in. Obviously,
Yeah.
losing Skyler and Coleman. Just kind of recapping stuff we talked about last episode. I was looking strong. Like, I think a lot of people are looking past how good that team actually is. Sure, Spencer Lee's heading out, but did he really produce at the national tournament last year? I mean, sixth place finish is good, but obviously we know what we were expecting, right? Coming into this. I
Yep.
think if Drake Ayala has developed good, he could definitely be a top six guy, take over right where they left off. I mean, not exactly. It's a good thing, but 33, I think. Is Brody Teske on? I think so, right?
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, I think Cullen Schreiber can do a great job for them. 41, I think Real Woods is right back in the hunt for a national title. It's going to be
Of
interesting to
course.
see how he's going to do against Bo Bartlett. Wanse
Yeah.
Aliris is out. 49, they're losing Murin, which I do think is a big hit for them. Um, whoever they fill that with, not entirely sure where that's gonna go. 57, Kobe Seawright. So maybe Ferrari goes down to 49 if they want to throw him the line run away. Not really sure. 65, Patrick Kennedy, phenomenal wrestler. I don't even think he All-American this year, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
74, Nelson Branch is coming back, I'm pretty sure. 84, Abe Assad, another fantastic wrestler, has an All-American, unfortunately. 97 is a big one. You got the chance to talk to Jacob Warner. I think Hawkeye fans were kind of shitting on him a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think Warner did very good. I think, yeah, he overperforms in a year that Iowa desperately needed someone to, right? I think someone left a comment on this in one of my videos. I think they're gonna realize what they had after he's gone because I don't think
Yeah.
anyone can really fill his shoes right now.
Sure.
That is what it is. Obviously, Big Tony, it's been an interesting ride for him. This is gonna be his last chance at a national title. Maybe he gets it done. Maybe he can get past Kerfleet again. Don't know entirely what's happening. This is the first time in a while. I think the national title has been up in the air since 2019 almost.
Yeah.
Kerfleet, Hendrickson, Cassiope, Stoltz in there, Davison in there. It can
Yeah.
go a
It's
lot of
tough.
different ways. I think it's going to be fun to see, right? Maybe you
Right.
have Gable come back, maybe you don't. But, yeah, what are your takes on the whole Iowa situation? I know I kind of went off on a rant.
Yeah. I mean, I think people are overreacting, like you said. It's a super young lineup. It's a lineup that might take a year or two to really show their full potential. But it's the Iowa Hawkeyes. They're always going to compete. They're always going to be in the mix for the national title, especially in the Big Ten. They're with brands that they're going to have his guys ready to go. So I mean, I think Iowa fans just need to be a little bit patient, which is obviously hard for them because they never really had to because all they do is win a lot. So, but I mean, this is a lineup that is, I think, very promising and it's going to take a year or two to reach its full potential.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I agree. I think, both of us are Penn State fans too, so we will take any opportunity to just shit on Iowa if we feel like it. But I think honestly the team gets a lot of hate for absolutely no reason. I'm trying to look through their you can keep talking. I'm trying to look through the lineup to find something. Caleb Rotjen, that's the guy at 149. Another very good wrestler. I don't think he's going to All American or anything, but I think just having 10 national qualifiers already puts you in what top 15 teams in the country. And
Absolutely.
if they
Yeah.
all win a match, you're already like top five, right? I think
Yeah.
people overestimate how much that is just because Penn State has 8 All Americans on their lineup,
Yeah.
and Howard and Facundo pretty much consider them that caliber, right?
Yeah. Oh,
I
for
mean,
sure.
I think everybody in the country can kind of agree that Penn State kind of has this on lockdown. And I'm going to be honest, like, as much as people hate on Penn State for all this stuff, right? I think it's great to have these super teams, right? I'd
Oh,
say
yeah.
if Michigan created a super team, give us a massive dual meet. That will be something that ESPN, Sports Center, all these people talk about, right?
Sure.
And that goes back to a lot of things. I think bringing the Premier Wrestling to the Big Ten. You send Andrew Ramirez, who we also got the chance to talk to a small school, right? He wants to stay home,
Yep.
then doesn't get any spotlight throughout the year.
Right.
Never televised. He's one of the best wrestlers in the country, right?
Yep.
Austin O'Connor in UNC, right?
Yep.
Going to a basketball school, right? As most people would call it. And then you have guys like Carter Strachey, Aaron Brooks, Rome Bravo Young, right? especially in these Big Ten Premier Conference, in the Premier Conference Wrestling,
Yeah,
and everyone's watching them, everyone's talking about them. While guys like Alirez and O'Connor are just as good, you only really
sure.
get to see them at the national tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah, again, going off on a right here, but I think Iowa's in good hands. I'm not entirely sure they're going to be top three. I think three might be the best they can perform, unless they get some interesting people coming in.
yeah. I mean, anything can happen. These guys can
Yeah,
break through at any point. I think Seabright's really a guy that you need to, I think,
yeah,
watch this
100%.
year. That guy, I mean, he looked
Yeah,
so good last year, and especially Kennedy. I mean, Big Ten finalist. I mean, he did an All-American, but you know,
yeah. Lost
he's
to
one of the
Ronnie
best guys in.
Rice.
Yeah, exactly. He's one of the best guys in the country, and I think he's going to be even better next season for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I said this last year. If Seabrett never pinned Artelona,
Yeah,
that whole insane run that he had would never happened.
I
And
think.
I'll say
Yeah,
this right now, I was scared when he wrestled Levi Haynes. I like, did he had Haynes on planned on his back for a second? I was like, oh, okay.
yeah. The kid's
But yeah, I mean, I think college wrestling's never been better. I'm gonna be honest with
for
you.
sure.
I think
Yeah, I mean,
29 might have been peak wrestling just because there were so many storylines to follow.
yeah,
Micaiah Lewis, Anthony Casar, Spencer Lee out there, and Soriano, right? But
yeah,
I think this is like the first era where we're gonna have people transitioning to the senior level that fans are gonna follow also. So I think that's honestly gonna be really good for the sport and
yeah,
something that I think you guys should keep your eyes on.
for sure, for sure.
But yeah, just a little bit of a news episode recapping stuff that's happened throughout the week. Other things we want to talk about. I mean, comment below what you want to hear about next time. See you guys again next time.
Peace.